Joseph Decker. Before we get to anything, I want to say thank you to our amazing sponsors listed at the bottom. We'll give you a little more information on them closer to the end of the episode. But I want these two guys beside me to introduce themselves so you guys can get a little bit of an understanding on who they are. So, the floor is yours, guys.
I'm Ladrikis Pittman, point guard here at Shawnee Community College. I'm also a sophomore, and
I'm Johnny Anderson. I'm 21, guard and forward, and I'm a sophomore.
So I wanted to get you all here today. We were coming down with our guys Greg and Ty here to kind of showcase some of the games that y'all had here, some of the players here, talk to you guys. So, good games out there, man. So, like I said, there's some questions I want to ask you all so people can get, like I said, a little bit of an understanding on you guys, what you guys have to offer to the table. And kind of some people's not as familiar with what Shawnee is, the community college. And there's some kids out there that I was talking to your coach Sparks like that. There's a lot of kids who, if it's not a D1 offer, they don't appreciate it. They only think D1's the only way you can play at the next level. But, they constantly sleep on D2, D3, JUCO, NAIA. But we look at some of the guys who's playing at those levels, it's a year or two, and they're caught up, and they're playing with those guys. So, they're showing that those JUCO offers, NAIA, they compete. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the higher-ups in JUCO, NAIA, things like that can compete at the D1 level. We've seen it with a guy like Dalton Connect out of Tennessee. So I want to ask y'all some questions here. Let's go ahead and get into it. We got the notes. So I want to ask, this is for both of y'all. You guys were both double-digit scorers, but your game is a lot more than offense. You guys both made the conference team last year. But how are you guys looking to improve your game and improve this summer for next season?
well, for me, I want to just grow my overall game as being a point guard. Looking, forward to this season. Obviously, I want to showcase more scoring, but I also want to be more efficient while scoring. I want to also get more of my teammates involved, averaging more assists, getting more on the boards, really show how athletic I can really be.
I say for me, being a better leader on the floor and off the floor, being a better playmaker, and being just working on my all three levels of scoring.
I want to ask you guys this because this isn't something I had written down, but what does it mean to you guys to be able to play these kind of camps and events, have some younger guys come in, give those some words of advice, kind of look up to you in a sense these few days and kind of look to you for advice and leadership?
It feels good for me because I have little siblings who also help mentor, give them pointers and tips as I'm also growing throughout my basketball career. I haven't made it to the highest level, obviously, but that's somewhere where I'm constantly working every day. So you got to have a work ethic if you want to, go higher in level.
I say, it feels good to just teach younger people the things that I know and watching them play and get better because when I was younger, I wanted the same thing. I got it. And, it just feels good to be able to do the same thing.
Yes.
For younger people.
Just pass it down.
What makes this Shawnee team so special? I seen last year you guys had a really solid team and record, but you guys have added some pieces I've heard. What makes this team so special, and what do you guys have to offer this season?
I say what makes this team special is, this team, it really feels a lot selfless. We have more pieces, even though, they're young, but, they're willing to learn. Throughout the ones that I have talked to, they really understand, the things and, the tips that I try to give to them. Since me being here 1 year already, kind of figuring things out, what it takes to play at the JUCO level. These guys are all bought in, and they just want the same thing that we do for this upcoming season.
I say what makes Shawnee so special, what we have to offer. I say our chemistry. Everybody get along, hang out. We just some dogs. And we hungry.
Facts. Coming in Shawnee, it's the doghouse, man.
Oh yeah,
we grind every day. Coming out here is nowhere to go for fun. So the gym, is really, this is our fun. You come in here late night, play against each other just to get each other better each and every day.
I think anybody. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because this is what we love. We all we're trying to get out of here, whichever way we can.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it starts in this gym.
Well, I could tell here by just being here a day, the passion this team has for the game, how hard you guys work. I mean, there's a competitive nature. You guys go at each other in the game, but I can tell y'all are a strong, well put together team. I'll leave you off with this one. Speak about Coach Stark a little bit.
Coach Sparks.
Coach Sparks. Speak on Coach Sparks for me a little bit. We got to get this little taste today, but how about, other practices? How hard is he on you guys? How, does he want you guys, like, how much is he working you all? How much does he care about you all?
Coach care about all his players a lot. If he recruits you, obviously he wants you. He's going to communicate with you every day. As long as you communicate with him, the energy with him is kind of reciprocated. You show him how much you mess with him. He's going to show you 100 times more. Coach Sparks is a great dude. In practice, he's pushing everybody. He doesn't care who you are. You miss practices, games being late. He doesn't discriminate coaches. He stands firm on what he believes, and those things is why he's been here for so long.
I say, yeah, Coach a funny man. He stay having us in practice laughing, but when it's time to get serious, he real passionate about basketball. So he have us in here working for real, like each and every day, working individuals. Even when we ain't got class, we come in here work.
Man, even when he not here, he making sure we work.
Yeah, he want it bad. We, he gotta have the team on the same page as him. So he have us in here working real hard, and he love basketball. So yeah, he don't play.
You don't play.
He don't play.
Well, guys, I want to thank you guys for hopping on here and talking to me for a little bit. If y'all could help me out, maybe find Coach Sparks for me, because he was supposed to come on here next, but I don't know where he's at. But I want to thank you guys for getting on here. This is all available to be watched after as well. So if you want to go catch it again, share it with some people. So thank you guys, though, for coming on. And help me find Coach Sparks, please, so he can get on here.
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, you want to talk to timeout coach? You're talking to me. You talk to coach after.
Let's get the big man over here. Oh. Joining us next year, folks, is a familiar face. You guys have seen him a few times. Hey, today's a big day. Today's a big day. You don't know why, but it's a big day. Well, we're now joined by ESPN 4-star 2025 guard out of Butler County, the Ty Price. Ty, the reason I say it's a big day is that you have now established yourself. You now rank number one as the most appeared guest on the Joe Show, man. You've been on here more than everybody.
That's what's up.
So there's obviously a few people mentioned it, and this is what people want to hear about. So speak about the UT Martin offer. You got to go down there and visit yet, meet the coaches and things.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the visit. Obviously, the coaching staff loves me. I got to spend a lot of time with them down there, see the campus, and watch a practice as well. But I mean, their style of play and what they stand for and their culture and their program is obviously stuff that aligns with me and how I want to play. Like my play style and just the characteristics of a program I want to be in. So it's obviously a blessing, just to get that offer in general. But I just enjoyed the visit and thankful.
Yeah, I want to mention this. A lot of people know we just got back from Collins, kind of wrapping that weekend up. You played some great competition there. Louisville Male, Newport, Marion County was a solid team. Then Danville Christian gave y'all some problems, but y'all were able to overcome it. Speak on Collins and some of the competition you got to play in, and do you think it helped you build as a player going into this season?
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously as a player, but especially as a team, it just gives us that extra layer of confidence. Newport are probably a top 2 team in the state, and we ended up beating them in the Sweet 16. And, Male's a top 5 team in the state, and we lost to them by 3. Danville's not a bad team. They got 2 6'10s or 7-footers on their team. So, it's hard to score in the lane. And, they ran a good 3-2 zone against us because we was getting a lead on them. They were trying to play us man, and that kind of slowed the pace down, mucked the game up a little bit. But, being able to overcome, Danville Christian with the zone and just how much of a sloppy game it was. And then, obviously beating a top-ranked team in the state and, fighting in that Elite 8 game against Male, we thought we had a chance to win even at the buzzer.
Yeah.
But, it's definitely big for us and our team just coming into the season. We obviously think that we we obviously had the confidence that we were one of the top 5 teams in the state, but being able to go down there and prove it gives us an extra layer of confidence. So that's definitely good for us, and just going forward into this, our summer workout.
So Briar's really starting to get some
Yeah.
recognition. To be able to be around him a lot, he deserves every bit of it. Lawson as well. Get some of these D1 schools look at him. He took the unofficial visit to Marshall. Trevor gaining some attention through AAU, and Justin Castle's always going to be a guy who's mentioned. So speak about your teammates. You're a guy who seems to be a team first guy. Speaks on your players, extremely humble. But speak on some of your teammates being able to get those opportunities and recognitions.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying that, after Collins being the Briar's most underrated guard in the state,
Yeah,
I would agree with that. I mean, everybody looks at his defense, but I mean, he's a good playmaker and he makes good decisions with the ball as well. Obviously, Lawson, I felt like he's been underrated, throughout his whole high school career. But now some colleges are starting to really look at him seriously and get him on visits and stuff. So I would expect for him to have a big July, coming into right before we get back into school, pick up some offers for sure. And Trevor and Justin, they played great this weekend, or well, I guess it'd be last weekend at Collins. I mean, Trevor's making shots, crashing the glass. So was Jay Bird. So, it was just a great experience for us as well. I mean, Clayton had played big minutes for us too as well. I mean, he's starting to really come along and, buy into his role, and it's working for the best for us for sure.
Yeah. So you guys really, with all these workouts in the future, we're at the dead period right now. You guys are going to be working, until, some of the first games in December. If you could go back and look at Collins, look at those games, what's some things that you think this Butler County team is going to focus on improving on and that we can see you guys get better on in the season?
Yeah. I would say just, finding easier ways to score because, a lot of times against higher level teams and, bigger, more athletic players, like a lot of times, I'm trying to create off the dribble and Lawson and Briar. So it's like just finding easier ways to score, simple flare screens, simple stagger screens. And that's stuff that we kind of been implementing, but we haven't had time to work on it. We just kind of rode into it cold turkey. So, just finding easier ways for other guys to score and, me as well, just, getting open shots. Hardly ever last weekend I had any open shots. So just finding easier ways to score and continuing to play hard. I mean, a lot of our success was due to us playing hard and, fighting through adversity. So that's definitely something that we felt like we did well. Like, our sophomore year going in the region tournament, we didn't think we was prepared and, like an experienced team. So going into Collins, we feel like we was a really experienced team and we showed it for sure.
Oh, yeah. When we talk about other great players in the region, we usually ask coaches and guys who sit back kind of like me and watch the games and things like that. But I've never really seen someone to go to a player and ask, who's the toughest guys to play in our region, things like that. So I want to ask you this. You've got to play against these guys. You've got to work against them this summer, things like that. Greg trained some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Speak on some of the best guys in our region and state that deserve more respect, needs to be talked about more, and that you've got to play against.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the region goes, obviously Davis County's tough. I mean, they got Jonathan. I mean, they got their whole starting 5 is tough. I mean, De'Aaron's got good size. They also just got another big that's pretty tall.
Jackson Brown, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he killed us in the summer league game. He hit like 5 or 7 threes. So, I mean, that's definitely just as a team, it's a very underrated team. They're probably, they could end up being in the top 20 or top 10 at the end of the year. So, definitely Davis County. I think Grayson County is an up and coming team for sure. Obviously, they got a lot of good young talent. So, obviously we're not going to give them nothing, but when we graduate, they'll be one of the top teams in the region for sure. So, just in our region, that's definitely the next 2 teams I feel like is, really on the come up.
I don't want to break any boundaries I can't speak on, but I know that you kind of see it all the time on social media. So you have the 7 offers now, but is there any other colleges you can tell us that have shown some interest or maybe you've got to talk to a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of mid-majors and high majors start reaching out. I don't want to say any names, but, I definitely expect a lot of them are going to come watch me in July, and start taking some visits here soon. And then, I've just enjoyed the process. It's been special for sure. And, coming out of Collins, just had a lot of people reach out. So it's been special for sure.
I got 2 more questions for you. This one, you spoke about this July and things, more games. Speak on your AAU circuit you play in, with Puma. You guys are kind of probably going to be edging more into that now. Speak on that circuit you get to play in.
Yeah, I mean it's a great circuit. I mean we have a lot of top guys in the country that plays on this circuit. You know, I think Chris Sinak's like the #1 big man in the country right now. Not to mention we have two other bigs that just got, or one of them just got offered from UK. So I mean, we have a lot of top guys. There's probably 8 or 10 kids in the top 100 that play in that circuit. So you know, it's definitely doing some great things. I think we go to Phoenix for the first live period, and then Indianapolis for the Puma final. So, you know, I've definitely enjoyed it this summer, and we expect to go in and win coming in July.
Everyone's hyped up for this upcoming basketball season. Ty, I think all around the state, we are the most talented the state's been for basketball in a really long time, and maybe ever. You know, with some of the talent we have, you know, the recruits show, you know, the chances maybe Jasper goes back to Woodford, Malachi, things like that. What can we expect from this Butler County season coming up?
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna go out and fight every game. Like, obviously, we have a tough schedule, and we're in a lot of big time events. You know, the Lexington Fifth Third. We're in Marshall County Hoop Fest, a big event with like Slam there and a bunch of prep schools that we wasn't in last year. We're in this year. So King of the Bluegrass, obviously. So you know, we're just gonna go out with the same mindset we did last year and just try to prove ourselves every game. Obviously, we feel like we're a top 5 team in the state, and we our goal is to win a state championship. So, you know, we're going to go out with that mentality every game and just try to prove ourselves every game.
Todd, thank you for sitting down here and talking to me. It's been great watching you play here today. We're going to cover you more in the future, of course. You know, me and Greg have kind of became the dynamic duo, so you're going to see more of us too. But, you know, we're really hyped for this upcoming season. Like I said, you made a mark today. You're the most appeared guest on the Joe Show, so thank you, Ty. We can't find Coach Starks apparently here, and I think Savon left, so we're going to call it quits here. We had a little 16-minute segment.
You know where Spark is at? Yeah, just hang on. He's talking to recruits. He's offering them, and he'll be back down here.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you, Ty, for hopping on here,
Yes, sir.
man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to bore us, but we'll be here waiting for Coach Stark showing up here in a second. That was Ty Price answering some questions for us. So, let's take some time out here, folks, to talk about our sponsors because we mentioned them earlier, but we want to get a little bit of detail on them and talk about them and mention them. First, I want to shout out our technology sponsor, Luke Wilson. Behind the scenes, Luke is great. He does a lot of work for us, helping with, you know, equipment and things like that. The Hidden Homestead, that's our show sponsor. They're a local venue by Scott Skaggs in Cleveland, Kentucky. It excels in weddings, parties, and events. Scott Skaggs Photography is linked with the Hidden Homestead. Scott does the photos, and you can do them for a bit of everything. Send your photos, weddings, and more. Kevin Alexander is our Edmonson County clerk, located at the clerk's office across from the bank. Grayville Funeral Home is a local funeral home dedicated to those we serve. It is owned by Roy Grayville. It is as you enter into Brownsville off the bridge. Tint Studios is owned by Henry Menendez. It is a local window tinting service in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They can do work on anything. They've done some nice work recently on, you know, things like cyber trucks, you know, really nice vehicles and homes as well. Alford's is a local pharmacy with the best experience in Edmonton, high quality work and experience, owned by Mr. Casey Alford, located in Brownsville Main Strip across from the 5-6 Center. Do all your business with Alford's Pharmacy. Martin Sons and Plumbings is a local plumbing business in Edmonton County, owned by Brian Martin. H&K, owned by Alan Keppel. Follow their Facebook at H&K Construction. They do quality homes at a price you can easily afford, so there's no one really better, you know, to get into that and work with than H&K right now. Corey Colberth is your go-to insurance agent in Edmonson County and surrounding areas, located in the Kentucky Farm Bureau building before you leave Brownsville. Contact Corey through 270-597-2127. Lake Forest Recruiting Firm does high-quality psychiatrists and psych nurse practitioners to give patients the best care and experience possible. That is our guy over there at Jay Holland, a long-term sponsor. And then last but certainly not least is Braden's Blessings. Braden's Blessings is a charity owned by Allison and Jay Holland, honoring the life of Braden Combs, who tragically lost his life in 2019. Braden was a great kid, but, you know, what's even greater is the charity and the work that they have done there, you know, doing a lot of work. So I want to say thank you to our amazing sponsors here. We're about 20 minutes deep into this episode. Didn't expect this to go for about an hour, but I wanted to get some guys in. A lot of people wanted to hear from Ty. A lot of people wanted to hear from some of the players here at Shawnee where we were visiting. Like I said, Coach Sparks is a little busy right now doing some recruitment work, so we're going to get him over here in a second. So Just let me know when you're ready. Guys, we're here with Greg Cowan here. He's probably, best trainer in our area without a doubt. He trains so many great players around the state of Kentucky, and he's got a lot of names listed beside me here of some of the guys he works with, training and things, people in Kentucky, some great players. So, Greg, I want you to name some of those guys, kind of give a little background on some of them and what some of the work you do with them.
Yeah, a lot of them come from all across the state and different areas and stuff, and guys that are playing professionally overseas, some guys that are current D1 players, some guys that are future Division I players, and some guys that are going to be future college players at other levels. But I think everybody already kind of knows about Ty Price, obviously, but Braxton Keithley's another name I'm really high on. I think he's probably the top 2027 in Kentucky. He was the Player of the Year as a freshman up at Prestonsburg. He's had 2 big AAU sessions where he was named a top performer by Adidas 3SSB, so that's pretty big time. I'm not sure anybody in the state has been on that list twice. So the kid's definitely a future Division I player. Got a great work ethic, great mindset about the game. So he's going to continue to get better. Mercer Rogers over in Breckenridge County is another name that people in the 3rd region are probably familiar with. Got a chance to be a first-team all-region type player. He's going to make a really good point guard at the next level if he continues to work. So he's somebody I'm high on. Jonathan Moss and Aiden from Davis County both come over and work out with me. 2 other guys that are pretty well known throughout the region that come over and work out with me on a consistent basis. So there's a pretty long list, but that's some of the probably more popular names that people would know.
You've got to, experience and work with Ty forever now. And Ty's probably, one of the most respected players in the state, and for a lot of reasons, with the hard work he does. What do you think, got to see everything behind the scene? What makes Ty Price such a special player?
Well, I think first and foremost that, the results he gets is based off of the work that he puts in. I don't think that, unless you're on the inside with this, I don't think most people would probably even begin to understand what a normal day for him, at home is like. It's far from normal, I can tell you that. It's 3 and 4 workouts a day, and everything is structured around the workouts, and he has different workout partners that he comes in. It's like everything is detailed and planned out in advance. There's no just like show up at the gym and let's see what we can come up with. Everything is detailed. So, all of that type stuff is, just who he is, on a daily basis. So I think it all starts with that. And I think that, what a lot of college coaches are coming to me about is I think everybody knows what kind of shooter and scorer he is. I think all the numbers he puts up kind of speaks for himself when he's done things that not very many people in the state's ever done. But a couple of comments that I get is, what kind of passer he is and what kind of vision he has with the ball, which obviously, when you're playing at the Division I level, he's going to have, other talent around him. So, obviously, being able to create, easy offense for his teammates will be something to be valued at the next level. And it's valued now too. Obviously, he's got, plenty of talent around him at Butler County as well. The other thing is just, I call it the intangibles, but just, the leadership and, the leadership that he brings, the dedication, making other guys better, just being a great teammate, high-fiving his teammates, being happy I think a big thing is just being happy for his teammates' success. Obviously, everybody sees his name, all over the place, and rightfully so. But, he's happy when, Lawson goes on a visit, or Breyer has coaches calling, or Justin or Trevor, they get accolades and things like that. That kind of stuff actually makes him happy too. So I think that, when you're that kind of teammate, once again, those are things that, college coaches are constantly talking about when they see him. I've even had coaches come up to me and comment about things they see him doing in the warm-up line, high-fiving his teammates and touching the line, going back to half court, and, staying focused on the court, not letting things in the stand, distract him. Like I get, comments about stuff like that all the time. So once you kind of tie all that together, that's when you get, Ty Price.
Yeah. You're on the coaching staff for Butler County. You get to be involved with this team all the time. So, just as much as the players, what this team could do, what they have and things like that. So I want to mention this game, though, the Newport game. It was a huge game, 2 top 5 teams in the state battling. You guys overcame them 49-47. What kind of was the game planning going into a team like Newport with a guy like Tay Kenny and other young guys?
Well, first off, we got a lot of respect for their team. We know that they, talent-wise, they're easily a top 5 team in the state, and you could probably make an argument they're a top 2 or 3 team in the state. So, we respected their talent. We respected that they had a lot of accomplishments coming in. But, as far as game plan, our thing was this: we're going to come out and guard them man-to-man like we do the majority of the teams that we play. There wasn't any, double teaming. There wasn't any secret game plans or, any kind of special defenses. It's just like, hey, this is your guy and this is your guy, and we're going to play man-to-man defense, and we're going to be in help side. We're going to do the things that we do, whether we're playing Newport or whether we're playing, a lower level team on our schedule. We don't really necessarily like to change the way we play. We make other teams adapt and try to play that we want to play. So we don't make a lot of changes whether we're playing a great team or just an average team.
Yeah, this is the biggest question I want to ask, because being in the coaching staff, you guys kind of plan things differently. Y'all know this team, like I said, more than anybody. What's going to separate this year's Butler County team from last year's team?
I think just, the desire to win. And I think that they understand that the next step is we want to try to win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. We haven't shied away from talking to the kids about that. The kids haven't shied away from talking to each other about that, and they haven't shied away from talking to us coaches about that. So obviously that's a lofty goal, but, we did a lot of things last year that's never been done before. So, bringing everybody back on that team, and, you got, a Ty Price coming back, who's, probably the best player in the state. He's obviously the most productive, without question. But, you're bringing back a lot of other guys. Lawson Rice is a Division I player. Briar Griffin's going to be a college basketball player. And we think Justin and Trevor can be as well. So, we're hopeful that, Clayton's developed for us as a sixth man and done some good things coming in defensively. He's played with more, confidence in the summer. And, we think he's going to get better. And there's a couple other young guys on this team that has the capability of stepping up. And, we're going to spend time with them in practice, and we're going to develop them. And, even if it's, for short spurts, a couple minutes here and there, we think those are guys that can, make our team a little bit deeper. So, if we have foul trouble, or if, I hope it doesn't happen, but if we have an injury, guys are ready to step in and play key minutes, because if you're gonna win the whole thing, you're gonna need everybody, whether it's Ty Price or the last guy on the bench. You're gonna need everybody if you're gonna win a state championship. But I think we can do that, and we're confident we have the talent to do that. And I've had some other coaching buddies at different places across the state. They're like, look, y'all are a legit top 5 team. They're like, hey, you guys, maybe outside of Lexington and Louisville, y'all might be the best team in the state. Mm-hmm. So I think it's not just us that thinks that, not just our players or our community that thinks that, but I think there's a lot of respect, trending all across the state that, we're a team that can do that. And I think that, the way we played at Collins only probably elevated that other people to think that.
Well, Greg, thank you for coming on here and giving us some words. You're involved with this Butler County team, which we talk about all the time. But, I mean, is there a better team to talk about? With where we're located, we get to see you guys a lot. You guys are productive. The state loves you guys. They're ready to see what you have this year. But, yeah, I want to say thank you for coming on here today to you and Ty. We're going to get Coach Starks up here next, though, but thank you.
One last thing real quick. I know that probably anybody that listening would probably echo this, but, I think everybody – across the state and even the region really appreciate the time that you put into this and the way you've elevated these kids. And, whether it's a Ty Price and a Jasper Johnson that, pretty much everybody knows, or it's even, mid-level players that people are kind of starting to learn about, you put a lot of time into it, and you've kind of, elevated Kentucky basketball. You've elevated the third region, and you've let a lot of these kids get known and get opportunities. And I know you're really growing what you're doing, but, I just think I speak for most people when I say we're really behind you and we're proud of what you're doing.
Well, that means a lot. I put in a lot of hard work, and, I'm glad to see the results showing up. And, like you said, my goal is to give these kids, a platform and a place to grow and get more known. So that means a lot. And we'll get Coach Sparks here when he's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk later. Hello. 5 minutes.
10 minutes.
Give me 10 minutes. Can you give me? Yeah.
Maximum.
Y'all going back to Chicago tonight? Okay, give me 10 minutes.
Coach Starks.
Oh, man.
Thanks for coming on, man. So I want you to introduce yourself to those who might not know you, your jobs, what you do, and who you are.
All right, my name is John Sparks. I'm the athletic director and men's basketball coach here at Shawnee Community College. Born and raised in Metropolis, Illinois. This is my 22nd, I believe it's my 22nd year as a head coach. Prior to that, I was assistant coach here for 5 years. I think I've been athletic director for about 10. So, uh, been at this thing a little while, Joe.
Mhm. Well, I like this. I want to say this first, getting to be here today. Shawnee's a great place. You have a really fun team. So let's go ahead and start talking about that team. We just got down sitting down with Ladrikis and Johnny, but I have this question written down, and I want to know this: Who are some of the other teams and players? I mean, who are some of the other players that this team offers that people need to get to know about?
Some of the other players that
Yeah.
on our team
Yes.
currently.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, we had, of course, my man Xavier Bell out of Atlanta, Georgia. He got his eye busted open a little bit, but he's a sophomore for us. Really athletic, just tough kid, plays hard. And Israel Welton, we call Izzy, is it's just a blue. We have a lot of blue collared guys, man. We don't have these dudes that have all these. You know, high profile guys. We got guys just want to come here and work. They're lunch pail guys. Izzy probably started at least 10 games last year. And much like Savion, who when he left here had 10 Division One offers. He had no offers out of high school.
Yeah.
We have a transfer from Dodge City, Tyree Jackson, we call TJ. And I always joke with him. I was joking with him today. I mean, you should have came here last year and played with Johnny and Keyshawn anyway. So he's a high energy guy, high basketball IQ. I think he's definitely a Division One guy. And then we have our boy the little thief Keyshawn. He's out here just stealing the ball from everybody. And I was telling some of the parents over there, he's one of the top defensive guards in the country. Just he's small and he gets underestimated, but he can, as you said, you were sitting here just kind of laughing because it's almost like unbelievable some of the things he does. And he's one of our crowd favorites.
Mhm.
Outside of that, I don't want to leave anybody out. Obviously we got the Dreekus and Johnny were all conference, all region. I think that's it. I think we just had those 6 guys.
Yeah.
I don't have my roster in front of me, but I believe that's it. I'm kind of looking at this deal here. I believe that's all of our sophomore guys.
I want to ask you this. I mentioned it to some of the players. So we're at an era where sometimes there's kids who got too big of a head. They're a little overconfident. If it's not a Division One offer, they don't want to go on and play at the next level. They kind of neglect it. But D2, D3, JUCO, NII, it's at the highest skill level it's ever been. So speak as a guy who gets to coach at the JUCO scene, why these places still deserve, to have these kids come here, why you shouldn't just look at them and shake your head, and you should still take your talents here and play for these type of, places like divisions and JUCOs.
Well, I tell people all the time, if you haven't been to a junior college game, you need to come check us out.
Mhm.
You need to come to the game and then make your, because everybody says, oh man, you need to be recruiting this kid or this kid's Division One. You need to come to a junior college game and see what it's all about. I mean, it's fast paced. We play a highly competitive schedule. We played in an invitational up the road and played Triton, who finished second in the country last year. And they had a kid that was a national player of the year and is going to Fresno State. He's a 24-year-old sophomore. Hey, man, he's a grown man. Okay. We're talking about some of these guys getting drafted and with the NBA draft and this guy and that guy. I'm telling you, some of these guys that haven't played, you come to junior college, you're going to play against a grown man. You better be ready. I mean, this is not like, it's not for the faint of heart. Let me just say that. It's fast paced, it's highly physical, and it's very, very athletic. And it takes a certain guy to play at this level. You play junior college basketball, you got a certain level of toughness.
Yeah.
When you show up to the deal, we don't have all the amenities that some of these other places have. So when you come, when our guys leave here, and we've had guys go to University of Florida, Utah, FAMU, North Texas, Miami of Ohio, Savannah State. I can name them for days, but I'm just telling you, when they leave here and they go to the next level, one, they're gonna be ready because we're gonna make sure that happens. But two, they're gonna be thankful that hey, we living in a nice dorm and we getting 3 hot meals a day, and now I'm getting an NIL. I'm getting get to keep my Pell money. Hey, our guys are appreciative of that because they come here and they've had to grind it out. We the prima donnas and the guys that think that the world owes them something,
Mhm.
Shawnee's not for you, man. We want them blue collar guys to bring their lunch pail every day. That's what we want.
I could see that, that hunger from these players today and these kind of going back this camp, seeing the guys play and things like that. Is that kind of the, attitude, and is that is that what y'all are going to show as a team this year? Hunger or fighting, on the ground, getting loose balls, just hustling and things like that. Is that what we're going to see from this team?
That's who we are. That's our culture. Coach Greg hit the nail on the head at the end when we were talking to the guys. Our culture is we with no excuses.
Mhm.
Our best guy Johnny goes out last year. He's got the flu or whatever. He can't play. Next man up. Let's go. We're just blue collar dudes. I coach really hard. Sometimes maybe too hard, but we're gonna show up and play and compete at a high level. We're gonna practice at a high level. You got to do things right here. You got to go to class. You got to compete in the classroom. You got to go to study tables. You got to come to individuals. Yes, you have to practice every day.
Yep.
Yes, you have to compete in practice. I had our president one year said, "Oh, you let so and so start to this game." I said, "No, I didn't let so and so do anything. He's starting because he has earned that." Only thing hey Joe, it's like this. When they get to Shawnee, I give them a couple things. They'll get a scholarship, they'll get a speech, and after that, they earn everything else from their backpacks, the travel shoes, the team shoes, team socks. They earn them, and if they don't, then we collect them back.
Yeah. So you spoke on some of the schools that you guys have sent these guys off to, the Division I levels and things like that. Who are some of the best players you've got to coach here at Shawnee?
Man, you put me on the spot. Justin Leon was special, man. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever coach another one like him. That allowed me to really coach him. That was super humble. That he's freshman of the year, running for player of the year, and he didn't think he was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not the world we live in now. He was good. Before that, I had a kid from Union City, Robert Robinson, who I wish I was a head coach and had a chance to coach him like I really wanted to coach him. Who was special. Savion McCune was a problem. You hear me? He was good. Mike Miller. I mean, I can't. There's so many of them. So many really, really good dudes that I had the opportunity to coach. And Matt Carr. Matt Carr. Everybody says he's too slow. He's too this. In this you get a lot of guys that tell you what a kid can't do, and that's fine. You know what I'm interested in? What can he do?
Exactly.
What can you contribute to this team? Can you contribute to winning? I mean, we've had a lot of those guys, man. I can't name all those guys, Joe. There's some really good dudes that come through here. It's the only thing I can say. And I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have a little impact and be able to coach these guys.
I want to ask this. I've seen it on your Twitter. Who is the one who is your kind of the background photo? Who is that playing in Florida?
Oh, that's my boy Leon. I haven't changed it in a while. I was supposed to be rotating those different dudes, but man, I get too busy. Yeah, that's Leon when he's at Florida. I think it's when he's kind of bent over. He's got that look, and that's that. Yeah, that was one of my favorite picks. I got Savion on my wall in my office, and I got Big Rob Howard, who's in his second contract in Austria, and I got Mike Miller, who played at North Texas. That's I think he's on his third contract overseas. So, and of course, I got Javante Ellis up there, and yeah, man, we've had some good dudes,
good players, and big names. So, say a kid, has an offer here. He's going down, he's making his decision. Why should he come to Shawnee, and what does this school offer outside of, just basketball?
You talking about what a scholarship entails?
No,
or
like
just...
why is Shawnee a great place?
Why Shawnee? Oh, man. One, I'm here, man. Come on. No, man. Here's why Shawnee is a great place. And I tell this to everybody. First you get here, you're like, oh, man, you're in the middle of nowhere. No, this is a perfect place to be. When you're developing your game, you can't find a better place than this. We have, first of all, you got to see this gym, man. Come on. This thing is absolutely
nice.
It's absolutely nice, man. It's first class. Does it hold 10,000 people? No, but you don't want it to hold 10,000. This thing is right, man. We get in here, man. We get a rival game, man. This thing gets rocking. Nobody wants to come down here and play, man. Now, when I got here, we weren't any good at people calling us. They don't even return phone calls now. I'm Joe. So why do you want to come to Shawnee? There's very little distractions. It's not like, well, I'm gonna leave my apartment, my dorm, and I'm gonna walk down the street to the bar or the club, or we're gonna go shop at the mall. All that stuff is 20, 30 minutes away. When you come to Shawnee, we want guys to come to Shawnee that want to improve their game. They want to compete. They want to improve their game, play at the next level. We want guys that want to go to class. So I struggle in the classroom. This is a place I can get the help to improve there and get the one-on-one attention. Student-teacher ratio in the classroom, probably about 12-1. My guys sit in the first 2 rows of class. They can get the attention they need so they can improve and be successful and graduate. And then we have a great staff of people here that genuinely care about our students. They care about all students. My student athletes, they care about the student athletes. Okay. Our vice president, he's on board. Our president's on board about student athletes, making sure that they're in the classes need to graduate and that they're making a transition from if they're coming from a city or if they're coming from a distance away. You don't have to come from a city to get homesickness. You could be from a small town and come 3 hours away from home and be homesick. So that's what I would say, man. It's little distractions. We care about our student athletes, and we're working for our student athletes. And very little distraction, man. And you're gonna play at a high level basketball. Why not come here?
Yeah.
We recruit guys. We tell them, you come here, you got a chance to, you're gonna have a chance to play, or you can go somewhere else and be, one of, 6, 7 footers. I see dudes at the end of the bench all the time. They're 7 foot. Why would you go there? And they got 2 7-footers in front of you. You can come Shawnee and play, man. You can't go Division I. You're not playing. It's not very hard to me, but what do I know? I'm just been doing this 22 years. I don't know. I had guys go everywhere. I don't know very much, I guess.
I would take your word. I want to speak on one more guy
Okay.
that we got to watch today. I think you know who I'm going to mention. He had me over here smiling. He might have had dunk of the year over there. I'm going to send that into Sports Center. Speak on Jalen White.
Hey, let me tell you something. We started recruiting Jalen White last year a little earlier at this time. And, I always tell people recruiting is like, when you're singing, you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling every week and texting and just what we did with Jalen, and I do the majority of the recruiting is just to develop a relationship so that he knows that I do care and we really want him. He is a priority. I don't know anybody anywhere that doesn't want to be wanted and needed. And he needed to know that and not show up at the end of the season and watch him in the All-Star game have a big-time dunk like he did today or hit 3 for 4 from 3 like he did today and say, oh, we really want you. We like you better than anybody else we've been telling this to the last 2 weeks. He's been hearing it from us from 10 months, and he's been seeing me in his gym at practices and games, and I'm calling and I'm texting. Yeah, I was prom. We're building that relationship.
Yeah.
So he knows what I say. It's the truth. I'm serious. Now we don't get them all, Joe, but we were fortunate in this class. We were able to get probably at least three of our top 5 guys probably. I mean, you lose some guys, and that happens, but we were able to get the guys. And that allows me to coach in a certain way. It's like, man, coach, you coach your guys so hard. If I play for you, I'd cry. My softball girls too. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't cry because you know you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to push you, and everything I'm telling you is because I know you're better than what you're doing. But, yeah, Jalen White's going to be special, Joe. You saw it. I mean, you don't have to be a basketball genius. And he didn't know what he's doing. He's shooting 3 people. He's blocking shots. He's dunking on people. He's switching hands. I'm so excited about his future.
Give it 1 second. It says it's connected. So
yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that Shawnee Wi-Fi. It's crazy.
Is that the only downfall? No.
Yeah, that's the only negative. It was working out, so I don't know.
I think we're back and good working now. I want to ask you one last question. He's sitting to the left of us. He's a great player, Ty Price. We get to talk to him all the time, so we know him well. Speak about Ty a little bit.
Let me tell you the first thing about Ty Price. He's only been messing around coming out here since 7th grade, okay? And I told him this other day, so he's probably going to laugh. And I'm looking at my Twitter, and he's I had a great conversation with so-and-so. I'm glad to receive an offer, so and such and such. And I offered him probably as an 8th grader, and I've never seen my name on Twitter with I had a great conversation with Coach Sparks. None of that stuff. He just wearing Shawnee gear around everywhere. And, I watched him down at Memphis hit 9 threes and at 36 points and a running clock and puts his Shawnee cutoff on after it. Hey, Coach. I'm like, man, what are you doing? Nah, Ty, man, that's my guy, man. Phenomenal player. It's it's weird that he looks. He'll always be like a 7th, 8th grader to me. And I was watching him, as he's matured and grown up. I was like, golly, he looks so old. I'm like, because I've been around him, like just watching him grow up. And man, I'm so excited for his journey and everything he has coming for him. I mean, he's earned it. I mean, he's worked for it. He's put the time in. He's had a ton of adversity, and he just keeps overcoming it. So he's getting the same. He should be a Shawnee because he gets the same thing my Shawnee guy get. Well, he needs to be taller. He needs okay. Well, then go sign a 6'3" dude that can't shoot. Then 3 months in, you'll be. We got to get a point guard that can shoot. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't know a lot, but I know when you're averaging 32 a game, you shoot the thing from the parking lot, you're a pretty good player. I mean, go get you a 6'2" dude that can't play. Then I don't know what to tell you. Then you got to deal with all of the nonsense. What you see with him is what you get. He's a good player. He's a high character kid. He's got a big time work ethic. He's a dude you can trust every day. He's an everyday guy. So I guess he'll go Division I somewhere. If it doesn't work out, I'm sure Coach Sparks will have a scholarship for him. Let's put that on the record.
Well, like you say, what do you know?
What do you know? I don't know.
Oh, well, thank you for getting on here and talking to us today, Greg and Ty. They're the best. So I wanted to hear you talk
Let me
about
say
it.
this, Joe. I appreciate you coming down today,
No
man. It's the
problem.
first time we're doing this. I want you to know you're welcome here at Shawnee Community College as long as I'm here, man. My man, Coach Greg, does a phenomenal job. We appreciate everything he's done for us. And just want to encourage you guys in that Kentucky area. You want to get some quality training, somebody that knows what's going on and knows what they're doing and has some connections. You need to be trying to get hooked up with Coach Greg. That's all I can tell you. If you're not hooked up with Coach Greg, man, you might be out there playing games. I wouldn't be spitting in the wind. I'd be getting some high quality training. Somebody knows some things. So that's what I got to say on that matter.
Thanks, Coach Sparks, for your time. That's going to be it for the Joe Show, guys, here today. We'll try to come with y'all, get y'all another episode.